In this video, we're going to go over simple rehab exercises for the wrist that you can do in the comfort of your own home with simply a towel. I'm Kyle Hemsley, Doctor of Chiropractic, and my mission is simple: to simplify rehab so that you can self-manage your condition in the comfort of your own home. So if we think about the wrist, we need to break it down into all the ranges of motion that it's capable of, and then design exercises that fit those ranges and challenge those ranges so we can improve the range of motion and the tissue capacity of the joint and the soft tissues. So the wrist has 6 basic ranges of motion: extension, bringing the knuckles back towards the forearm; flexion, going the other way; supination, probably better seen here, or rotating the hand upwards as if you were going to hold a bowl of soup; pronation, rotating the palm down. We have radial deviation, bending the wrist back towards the thumb side; and then ulnar deviation, bending the wrist back towards the pinky side. All of these ranges of motion are needed to some degree to have optimal function for the wrist joint. So what I'd have you do first is simply check these ranges of motion side to side and feel if you notice any big differences on left versus right. So go elbows to your side, palms up, that's supination. Any major difference? Pronation, extension, flexion, radial deviation, and ulnar deviation. They all feel pretty similar to me, but take note of how you feel and if one feels noticeably different than the other. If so, you may want to spend a little bit of extra time working specifically into that restricted range. Now, as a bonus, before we get into the actual exercises, there is one movement that seems to be really high yield and offer a lot of benefit for all wrist complaints. All I'm going to have you do is take your involved side wrist, turn it thumb side facing away, and then take your other hand and cup it with the web part of your hand and place your thumb on the ring side or ring finger metacarpal here, which is this long hand bone. And then I'm going to have you simply lower the hand down, and as you do, the elbows are going to kind of come up, not down. So this is the motion. I might hit the microphone a little bit here. Down and up. Down and up. I want you to try this repetitively with a 1-2 count at the end. I would try 2 to 3 sets of 15 and then retest whatever range was restricted. See if that makes a big difference. Oftentimes you'll notice if extension was restricted, even though we're going into flexion here repetitively, extension improves a ton. Now on to the exercises. It's going to be very simple. We're going to grab a kitchen towel. We're going to fold it in half, and then I would start twisting it up a little bit at a time until you get some fairly good tension on it. And we're going to go right into the exercises. So if we're trying to work on wrist flexion, we're simply going to wring it out, and we're going to talk about right side involved here. We're going to wring it out by going into resisted wrist flexion, and then back out, and then in, and then back out. If you feel like you can take more resistance, then you just twist the towel up more, grab it, and then wring it out and release, wring it out and release. Now to go the other way, all we need to do is reverse the towel. Again, we're still doing the right hand here. And then we're going to wring it out this way, bringing the wrist or the knuckles back towards our forearm. And out. And out. Usually I'd recommend 10 to 15 reps, but you can do whatever works for you. What I'd recommend over time is slowly adding more reps or more sets and being consistent, probably 2 to 3 days a week. If you're not too sore, I would even up that to maybe 5 days a week. So that covered flexion and extension. Now we have supination and pronation. We're going to unfold the towel. We're going to bring our hand up into that supinated position, and then bring the towel onto the outside of our body. Wrap this hand around and pull down. And now we're going to use that vector of force to resist pronation. So that's all we're doing. Here and pronate. I like to have my elbow kind of tucked into my body so I'm not using my shoulder. So here and pronate. Now for supination, we're going to bring the towel onto the other side. We're going to start in pronation, resist with this hand, and then go into supination. Pretty simple, right? Go into supination, go into supination. What you'll notice is the bicep will work a little bit here too, and that's okay because it is actually a supinator. Now for the last two, these are a little less commonly seen, but still pretty easy to get done. We're going to start with radial deviation, which if you remember is bringing the wrist and bending the wrist back towards the thumb side. So in order to accomplish this one, we're just going to drop the towel down and then pull down, traction on it, bring the elbow in, and then you're going to simply radial deviate with a little bit of resistance. You can kind of play with the angles here. You can go down or you can come out and go in this direction. I would probably bring it in closer here and then pull down and radially deviate back. Ulnar deviation, we're just going to reverse it. So the towel is going to come up here. We're going to give the tension to the towel up top and then pull down. And then pull down. So that covers all the 6 ranges of motion, and that's all for this video. I simply want you to apply the test with range of motion, see if you're restricted in any of the ranges, if they cause pain. First, try the repetitive end range loading. If that makes a quick change for you after a couple sets of 15, I would try that maybe for a week, probably 4 to 6 sets of 15 sprinkled throughout the day. See if that really clears up the range of motion and pain. If not, I would go with all 6 of these towel exercises and then see how you do. As always, we'd appreciate a like and comment and subscribe for more videos like this. We'll see you next time.